10 things you should never feel guilty about after retirement. Some people think retirement is all about freedom. No alarm clocks, no packed calendars, no bosses, just peace, rest, and long afternoons filled with sunshine and silence. And in many ways, that's true. But what no one really prepares you for is how complicated this season can feel inside. You spent decades showing up for others, waking up early, sacrificing sleep, putting dreams on hold, and carrying responsibilities that no one else even noticed. You worked hard. You made sure others had what they needed. You said yes when you wanted to say no. You stretched your time, your energy, and sometimes your soul, just to hold everything together. Then one day the pace shifted. Maybe suddenly, maybe gradually. The house grew quieter. The phone didn't ring as much. The world moved on without your schedule at the center of it. And somewhere in that stillness, a surprising feeling crept in. Not just relief or peace, but something heavier. Guilt. Guilt for resting. Guilt for saying no. Guilt for enjoying something just for yourself. Guilt for not being busy. Guilt for no longer being the one who holds everyone else together. It's strange, isn't it? You finally reach the part of life that's supposed to feel light, and yet something inside keeps whispering that you're being selfish for enjoying it. That if you're not doing something for someone else, you're somehow wasting your time. That if you're not working, producing, sacrificing, you're not useful. And if you're not useful, what are you? But friend, let me remind you of something. Your worth was never meant to be measured by how much you do. You were not created to only give and give until you disappear. And you certainly were not given this gift of retirement just to fill it with guilt and shame. This chapter of your life is not a lesser one. It's not an afterthought, it's not just the closing credits, it's a new beginning, and one that deserves to be lived without the weight of unearned guilt. So let's talk, just you and me. Let's walk through 10 things you never, ever need to feel guilty about in this season. Not now, not anymore. Let's name the guilt, unravel it, and release it, so that what remains is peace, purpose, and the kind of quiet joy that only comes when you finally believe. This time is yours. For most of your life, no came with a paragraph. Maybe an apology, a reason, a softened voice, or a promise to make it up later. You said yes when you were tired. Yes when it wasn't fair. Yes even when you meant no, because you didn't want to disappoint someone or cause tension or seem selfish. But now you're in a different season, and you've earned the right to protect your peace without a full explanation. It's okay to say no and stop right there. No, I won't be attending that event. No, I'm not able to watch the grandkids today. No, I don't want to join another committee. Not because you don't care, not because you're cold or lazy or difficult, but because your time is sacred, and you finally realize that your energy is not unlimited. Saying no doesn't mean you're shutting people out. It means you're choosing what matters most, and finally honoring your own limits. You don't need to wrap it in sugar or spin it into something polite. You can say no kindly, clearly, and confidently. Your life is not a public service announcement. Your heart isn't a vending machine. You're not responsible for carrying everyone else's expectations. Give yourself permission to say no without guilt. No without guilt is not selfish. It's wisdom. It's knowing that not every request is yours to answer. It's choosing to show up fully for the things you say yes to, instead of spreading yourself thin just to keep others comfortable. This is your season to breathe, to be honest, to draw boundaries without fear. Saying no is not closing a door. It's opening space for what actually gives you life. You might be retired, but that doesn't mean you've learned how to rest. Truly rest. The kind of rest that doesn't come with guilt, with racing thoughts, or with a voice in your head whispering, you should be doing something. Rest is not just the absence of work, it's the presence of peace. And for many of us, that peace takes time to relearn. We've been on the go for decades, always planning, moving, checking boxes. Rest felt like a reward, not a right. And now that you finally have the time, you might not even know what to do with it. But rest is holy. It's not laziness. It's not a waste. It's not giving up. It's choosing to let your body exhale, your mind soften, your spirit return to center. Take the nap. Sit in silence. Watch the birds. Listen to music without multitasking. Let the day pass slowly without needing to accomplish anything at all. The world will still turn. The dishes can wait. The phone can ring again later. You are not less valuable when you are resting. You are not invisible. You are not doing something wrong. You are recovering from decades of movement, and that recovery is sacred. You don't need to earn rest anymore. You just need to receive it. And when you do, you'll find something beautiful. The more you rest without guilt, the more joy has room to return. You've spent your life taking care of others, putting kids through school, paying off the mortgage, making sure everyone had what they needed, often at the expense of what you needed. Even now, that instinct might still be there. To check with everyone else first, to ask, do I really need this? Should I be spending on myself? What if it's wasteful? But friend, you've waited long enough. This is your time. If there's something that brings you joy, beauty, comfort, or ease, you are allowed to have it. Buy the good shoes, the comfortable chair, the better mattress, the small indulgence, the thing that makes you feel seen and cared for even if no one else notices it. You're not irresponsible. You're not being extravagant. You're honoring the life you've built by enjoying it. You're acknowledging that your pleasure and happiness still matter, not just to you, but to the people who love you. Spending money on yourself doesn't mean you've stopped giving. It means you've started including you in the equation. It's okay to buy something that doesn't pay off in practical ways. Joy is a worthwhile return. So is comfort. So is the feeling that you're still worth investing in. The truth is, you always were. So don't apologize for finally living like it. There's something strange that happens when we stop working for a living. We still feel like we have to earn our rest. Even after retirement, many people wake up feeling like they need to prove their worth through a to-do list. Laundry, errands, paperwork, organizing, fixing, helping, cooking, anything to make the day feel productive. But here's the hard truth. That mindset didn't always come from joy. It came from survival, from decades of being needed, from a society that teaches us our value is in what we do, not who we are. And now, in this quieter season, it can be hard to sit still without feeling guilty, to not fill every minute with some useful task, to let a day pass and not have anything to show for it. But listen closely. Your worth doesn't depend on your output. You are not a machine. You are not a list of chores. You are a person with breath in your lungs and peace in your presence. Some days, the most important thing you'll do is sit on the porch and feel the breeze, or take a nap, or call a friend, or simply be, without producing, fixing, or achieving anything measurable. That's not nothing. That's restoration. So stop measuring your value by your busyness. You're in a chapter of life that doesn't need to be earned through hustle. You've already done that. This is where you let grace do the heavy lifting. You're allowed to have slow days, empty days, unplanned days, and you're still just as valuable when you do nothing at all. For so many years you were known by what you did. Maybe you were the provider, the caretaker, the one who always had the answers. You were dependable, strong, the one who made things work when no one else could. But now, the phone doesn't ring as often for advice. The kids are grown, the workplace moved on, the calendar is clearer, and the world doesn't seem to lean on you the way it used to. And that shift, that loss of role, can feel like grief. You might feel unsure of who you are now. You might feel like you're disappearing a little bit, like your identity was wrapped in all those responsibilities. And now that they're gone, what's left? Let me remind you, roles change, but who you are, that remains. You are still wise, still valuable, still needed, just in a different way. You don't have to hold it all together anymore. You don't have to be the fixer, the planner, the strength for everyone else. It's okay to let others take the lead. It's okay to lay it down. Letting go isn't giving up. It's making room. Room for new joys, new rhythms, new ways of showing up in the world. This is not a loss, and it's a transformation. You're not less than you were. You're simply no longer carrying what isn't yours to carry anymore. It's amazing how often we push our dreams to someday when the kids are older, someday when work settles down, someday when we have time. But someday has a way of staying just out of reach, unless we choose to bring it into today. And now is your today. If there's a place you've always wanted to go, it's time. If there's a hobby you've always wanted to try, it's time. If there's a place you want to revisit, or a trail you want to walk, or a language you want to learn, or even just a park bench you want to sit on for an hour without interruption, it's time. This chapter isn't about waiting. It's about returning to the things that give you life. And you don't have to feel guilty for it. You don't need to explain why you booked that trip, why you took that class, why you bought that camera, or that paint set, or those dancing shoes. Joy is reason. Enough, you gave so much. You postponed your needs and dreams for decades, and now the door is open. Whether you go across the ocean or just down the road with a picnic basket and no schedule, this is sacred. This is what it means to reclaim your time. To choose something simply because it brings you alive. You don't owe anyone an explanation for doing what lights you up. This is your reward, not for working hard, but for living long, for surviving, for staying faithful, for showing up every day when it was hard. Now it's your turn. Sometimes the news feels too heavy to bear. You turn on the television or scroll through your phone and it's all there. Conflict, suffering, disasters, grief. You see stories of families struggling, children hurting, cities breaking. And in the quiet of your own life and in your garden, on your porch, in your calm, you feel something unexpected. You feel peace. And then the guilt creeps in. How can I enjoy this calm when others are in chaos? How can I laugh with my grandkids when the world is falling apart? Shouldn't I be doing more, feeling more, carrying more? But friend, here's the truth. Your peace is not the problem. Your joy is not an offense. Your stillness is not apathy. It's not wrong to feel okay in a world that's not. In fact, peace can be the very thing that helps you show up with more love, more clarity, more compassion. You were not meant to carry the weight of the world. That's God's job. And He's still at work, even when we feel helpless. You can hold space in your heart for both joy and sorrow. You can feel the ache of injustice and still sit in your backyard and let the sunlight fall on your face. Peace is not denial. Peace is choosing to stay rooted in hope, to believe that rest is still possible, that beauty still matters, that kindness still makes a difference. So don't let guilt rob you of that peace. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to smile. You are allowed to live in the light even when darkness exists. Let your peace become a prayer for the world. Let it be your quiet offering. Let it be your strength, not your shame. You've spent most of your life being the helper. You were the one others leaned on, the one who showed up, the one who knew how to fix things, carry things, calm things down. And now, whether it's because of age, illness, grief, or just time, you find yourself needing help instead. And that shift can feel so uncomfortable, so humbling, so hard. You might catch yourself saying, "I hate being a burden," or "I wish I didn't need so much," or even, "They shouldn't have to do this for me." But let's stop and ask something gently. Would you say those same words to someone else? If your child or friend needed help, would you tell them they were weak, or burdensome, or unworthy of care? Of course not. So why speak that way to yourself? Receiving help is not failure. It's not giving up. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's an act of trust, a moment of courage, a way to let others love you the way you've loved them. You are not less because you need assistance. You are not broken. You are simply human, And humans were never meant to do life alone. So open your hands. Let someone drive you. Let someone carry the bag, make the meal, sit beside you. Let them give, not because you can't, but because they can. You've given so much of yourself. Let this be the season where you also learn to receive and to know deep down you are just as worthy of love when your hands are open as when they were full. For a long time, your days were full of people, plans, pressures, and promises. You said yes because you had to. You showed up even when you were tired. You held traditions, hosted holidays, organized calendars, kept everything moving. But now, something in you craves less. Less noise, less pressure, less explaining, less doing things because that's the way it's always been. And yet, even in retirement, it can feel hard to say no to the expectations that linger, to step away from the busyness, to cancel the things that no longer bring peace, to skip the event, simplify the holidays, downsize the calendar, and admit that you just want stillness instead. But here's the quiet truth. Simplicity is not selfish. It's sacred. You don't need to earn your place through exhaustion. You don't need to maintain 100 commitments just to prove you're still with it. You don't need to please everyone at the cost of your own well-being. Choosing. Simplicity doesn't mean you're closing yourself off. It means you're making space. Space for clarity, connection, reflection, and joy. So give yourself permission to slow down. To do fewer things, but with more heart. To be fully present in a smaller life that fits you better. You've spent years saying yes to the world. Now is your chance to say yes to what truly matters. And gently, quietly, without guilt, let the rest go. It can feel strange at first. The quiet, the open space. The sense that for the first time in your life, you don't owe your every hour to someone else. You wake up, and no one's asking for breakfast. There are no office emails, no carpool lines, no endless meetings. No one is grading your performance or depending on you to hold the entire world together. And you might feel the stirrings of something unfamiliar. What do I want today? What would make me feel alive? What have I never given myself permission to dream about, create, or enjoy? Then guilt sneaks in again, like it always does when we're not used to centering ourselves. You think, is this okay? Is it wrong to finally choose me? But it's not wrong. It's right. It's holy. It's overdue. You've lived for others. You've sacrificed and served and poured yourself out in 100 ways. But this chapter is about you. You are not selfish for living with intention. You are not shallow for wanting beauty, peace, fun, or solitude. You are not indulgent for spending time doing things simply because they bring you joy. You're not meant to disappear into other people's needs forever. You're meant to come home to yourself. Living for yourself doesn't mean you stop loving others. It just means you love yourself too. So take the walk, book the trip, eat the cake, say what you really think, wear what makes you feel beautiful, read what makes your soul dance, sleep in, sit longer, say yes to joy and no to shame. You've done the work, you've paid your dues, now live your life and do it without apology. There's a heaviness that so many carry into retirement. The pressure to stay busy, the habit of pleasing everyone, the quiet fear that you're not doing enough anymore, not being enough. But guilt is not a badge of honor. It's not a measure of your worth. It's just the leftover noise of a world that taught you to equate your value with what you could give. It's time to lay that down. This is not a season for guilt. This is a season for grace. You are not here to prove anything anymore. You've already done enough. You've already been enough. Now it's time to live like you believe it, so go forward lighter, braver, freer. Say no without apology. Rest without guilt. Spend money without shame. Let go without fear. Laugh, explore, be still, ask for help. Let things be simple, and above all, live. Not for permission, not for praise, but for the beautiful, one-of-a-kind soul that still breathes within you. You are not an afterthought. You are not a burden. You are not past your prime. You are a living, breathing, wildly worthy human being, and this life, this day, this moment, is still yours. So take it, and do not waste a second of it feeling bad for finally becoming who you were always meant to be.